Russia in the 21st century is a country of contrasts and constant change, characterized by its extensive history, vast geographical expanse and significant political developments. Since the year 2001, Russia has experienced a variety of ups and downs that have affected both the country's domestic life and international relations. Politics. Russia's political landscape has been largely dominated by the presidency of Vladimir Putin, who has been in power in various capacities as president or prime minister since the year 2001. His terms in office have been characterized by an increasing centralization of power, the restriction of press freedom and the suppression of political opposition. The political system is often described as authoritarian, with elections regularly overshadowed by accusations of irregularities and a lack of genuine competition. Economy. Economically, Russia has experienced a period of rapid growth, particularly due to rising oil and gas prices in the early 2000s. This led to a rise in living standards and an increase in state revenues, which were used to strengthen state control and finance infrastructure projects. However, the economy remains heavily dependent on commodity exports, making it vulnerable to global price fluctuations. Society. Russian society is characterized by deep cultural and social roots, which are still visible today in art, literature and other forms of cultural expression. At the same time, there are significant social challenges, including demographic problems, regional disparities and a growing gap between rich and poor. International relations. At the international level, Russia has played an active and often controversial role. The annexation of Crimea in 2014 and support for the separatists in eastern Ukraine have led to a significant deterioration in relations with the West. Russia has also intervened militarily in Syria and has emphasized its global military and political ambitions through a series of diplomatic and military initiatives. Overall, Russia remains a central player on the world stage in the 21st century, and its domestic and foreign policies remain relevant to the global order. The country's future development will likely depend on the ability of its leadership to both overcome domestic challenges and navigate its position in a changing international environment. Moscow, the capital of Russia, is one of the largest cities in Europe and plays a central role in the country's political, economic and cultural landscape. As the heart of Russia, Moscow combines historical splendor with modern flair and is a city of contrasts and dynamic change. Politics and administration. Moscow is not only the political capital of Russia, where the Kremlin, the seat of the president and the government, as well as numerous ministries and state authorities are located, but also the center of Russian power structures. The city has a special administrative significance and status, comparable to its own federal territory. Economy. Moscow is Russia's economic powerhouse. The headquarters of the largest Russian companies, particularly in the energy, finance and technology sectors, are located here. The CBD, Central Business District, with its numerous high-rise buildings, including the Moskva City Complex, symbolizes the city's economic potential and modern spirit. Culture and education. Culturally, Moscow is a true melting pot. The city is home to some of the most famous theaters in the world, including the Bolshoi Theater, and numerous museums such as the Tretiakov Gallery and the Pushkin Museum, which present rich collections of Russian and international art. Moscow is also an important educational center with renowned universities such as Lomonosov University. Architecture and sites. Architecturally, Moscow offers an impressive variety, from historic buildings such as St. Basil's Cathedral on Red Square to modern skyscrapers. Red Square, the heart of the city, is not only a historical and tourist attraction, but also a symbol of Russia's turbulent history. Transport. Moscow's transport system is extensive and efficient, with the Moscow Metro being particularly noteworthy. It is known for its deep stations and magnificently decorated underground stations, often referred to as underground palaces. Lifestyle. Despite the hustle and bustle and busy lifestyle, Moscow offers numerous parks and green spaces where locals and visitors can find relaxation. The city's nightlife is lively and offers a wide range of entertainment options, from classical concerts to modern nightclubs. Moscow is a city that both preserves its history and is constantly in search of modernization and innovation. Its role as a leading center in Russia makes it a fascinating place for visitors and residents alike. The way Russia deals with conflicts in Europe, particularly the war in Ukraine, is complex and has far-reaching implications for the international community. This conflict began in 2014 with Russia's annexation of Crimea and support for separatist movements in eastern Ukraine. The following points outline the key aspects of Russia's approach and involvement. Military involvement. Russia has actively deployed troops and military support to conflict zones such as eastern Ukraine. Despite initial denials of direct involvement by the Russian government, evidence and reports have drawn international attention to Russia's military presence in Ukraine. Political strategy. Russia has pursued a political strategy aimed at maintaining or expanding its influence in Ukraine and other parts of Eastern Europe. This includes supporting pro-Russian politicians and movements, as well as attempting to create or strengthen political and economic dependencies. Propaganda and information. The Russian government has used extensive information and propaganda campaigns to spread its view of the conflict, both within Russia and internationally. These campaigns are aimed at justifying Russian actions and discrediting the Ukrainian government. Economic measures. Russia has also used economic tools, including trade sanctions and energy policies, to influence countries in Eastern Europe and exert pressure on Ukraine. The dependence of some European countries on Russian gas is a key factor in this strategy. Diplomatic relations. Diplomatically, Russia has sought to portray its actions as a response to a threat to its national security and has sought to gain support from other countries or at least avoid direct confrontation with Western powers. Reaction to international sanctions. In response to sanctions imposed by the US, EU and other countries, Russia has taken its own countermeasures in an attempt to strengthen its economic and political resilience. This approach by Russia has led to a significant deterioration in relations with the West and destabilized the security situation in Europe. The international community, including the United Nations and the European Union, remains divided on a solution to the conflict, with tensions in the region continuing to rise.